Here we're using a dark wash and some white spirit. The idea being to highlight detail on a planked van to make it stand out. There's a lot of detail included in models like this these days, but because it's all one colour, it's not always visible, or not as visible as I would like it to be on my models anyway. Now the way we approach this is to have white spirit on the brush. The brush, incidentally, is a rigger, R-I-G-G-E-R, and the brush is dampened first, or rather dunked first in the white spirit, and then dipped into the wash, and what you end up with is a thinned wash on the brush. So we've dipped it in the white spirit, now it goes into the wash. Just get rid of any blobs that might appear on the end, and then we can apply the wash to the sides of the van so that capillary action takes it up into all the detail. So just touch the brush to a corner and see the wash run into all the plank lines. There will be blobs. We don't worry about the blobs at this stage. They can be dealt with later on. And this is possibly just a little bit too thick, but I think you can probably see the effect as soon as the wash starts to run into the plank lines. And the purpose of using a rigger brush is because it has long, thin bristles, which means it holds a fair bit of fluid, and that allows that colour to run into all the plank lines. When it runs out, it's just a case of dipping it into the white spirit and then into the wash again just to replenish. And this hasn't run all the way up and down the plank lines, so we'll just start halfway. As I said earlier, don't worry about blobs, we'll deal with those later. And just to sort of give some idea of why, what needs to happen is that the wash that has run into the detail needs to be given a little bit of time to dry, and by leaving everything for say 15 to 20 minutes, that drying process can start. And it really is simply a case of continuing to touch the tip of the brush into detail lines and allowing capillary action to take the fluid, in this case into plank lines. If it's a different type of van, then a plywood van for example, there won't be plank lines, but still I'm sure you understand the principle. There. Looks a bit messy, but you can see the difference between the 2/3 that have been done and the third that is left to be done. Now that is now left for 15 to 20 minutes so that drying of the fluid can take place.